What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, you guys? We are back. We are back. This is Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 3, episode 14. Softball heart shade. Okay. Now I'm gonna get right to it and say this episode really didn't give me much. It somewhat felt like a filler episode, but baby, next week episode is gonna be where it's at. Okay, because all the mamas is gonna be on there. The grandmamas. Okay, Martell mama, Miss Wanda ass, and Melody mama. Okay, and they all getting into it. So I can't wait for that mess because we know it's gonna be some mess. But at the same time, this episode was a lot of the same mess that's been going on. And one particular thing, like I'm getting tired and annoyed with the Melody and Martell situation. Like it was cute at first, you know what I'm saying? Finding out all the information about him, girl. But this constant arguing and they're saying the same thing and trying to one up each other. Oh my God, it was just a mess. But anyway, let's just get into the episode because baby, my bike is on fire. That sciatic nerve is just saying, bitch, I'm here for a minute, okay? And yes, I took some medication for it, but whew, all right. So we start where we left off last week, and it was the whole therapy session that Tisha went to Dr. Francis for. And they one of the things that was brought up and was left over was the fact that Tisha always feeling that she has to defend her husband. And her whole thing is she feel like she defends him because, that's her man and she's supposed to do that. But she don't necessarily feel like the things that's being said about not Martell, Marceau is true, And she was like the way that she understands that because he asked him, oh, girl, get your shit together. He asked her, Tisha, how do you know what people are saying and whether or not, you defended him if it's true or not or whatever? Because I look at people in their face and if they telling me what it is, I can usually judge from that and all that. And when Marceau tell me something, I look at him in his face and he tells me and I believe it. Truth be told, I do not feel like Tisha believes everything that has been put out there. Like, believe what he says, okay? She was like, he the type of person that'll be petty with it, won't say nothing about it, but, until it comes time to somebody say something and he won't acknowledge it, and he's done that in the past. You seen it be brought up and then he'll make a joke about it. He won't fully say yes or no if it's true. And then she'll be like, later on, it'll come out that it's false. And then he'd be like, see, I told you so. That's why I ain't have to say nothing. Listen, don't play no games with me like that, okay? If I ask you a question, just answer it so I can ease my mind and just go on. And it's not necessarily because I don't trust you. Anybody would ask a question of, are you cheating on me, or is this true, or do you have another baby on the side or whatever, when y'all are already going through stuff. And when people, more than one person has said it, and it's not an insecure thing. I'm not going to call her insecure in this aspect, but most of it, listen, she knows. She knows that man is not, I ain't going to put it out there, but I do not feel like he is 100%, faithful to her. It's just that he is very careful with the way that he do things, and he's very manipulative to make her think that he's not doing anything. And truth be told, he probably isn't doing anything. And that's just the thing of it is, he comes on and he comes off as if he can control the situation and convince people otherwise. So we don't know what he's doing or not. Okay. And, the Dr. Francis get on her about, how do you see yourself with the way that, how do you take it the way that Marceau gives you and show you love versus the way that you want it to be shown in love. And she was like, I just take it. That's how it is. It's like, sometimes I didn't see myself in this certain situation. And, he was like something about, what do you feel like he needs you for truly? And she said, I don't know, maybe just sex or whatever. And I said, wow, that's how you see yourself? Like, that's all you think your man wants from you? And I just sometimes when we talk about Tisha, okay, and the way that she acts and the way that she responds to stuff, I do kind of feel bad for her a little bit because she is in a marriage and she never, and after seeing what she said in the therapy session last week, she never saw an example of an actual real relationship, a marriage that works or whatever. Her grandmother was the type of person that was whatever the man wanted, needed, that's what she did. Okay. And she's never seen like a successful equal marriage. And so she's just getting the short end and doing whatever she thinks she needs to do to survive in this thing. That's what I feel like at this point. And he know how to control that shit. Okay. Moving on from that, Martell and Melody comes together with the kids. They're doing this co-parenting. Remember when they went to the lady therapist, the different therapists for the co-parenting, and she gave them a homework assignment. And basically, they came together with the kids. They went to like this little park area, and they were going to be asking them questions. Okay. And this whole scene kind of made me feel kind of sad for the situation, given the way that they are acting out now. And I'm talking about these grown ass adults, because people fail to realize that when you are going through something, okay, and it's not just you that's going through it, especially when you have family, when you have kids and stuff. It's also affecting the kids, and most times you don't see how it's affecting the kids. We got that clip, from either earlier in the season when they actually went to the therapist, co-parenting therapist, and Martell was saying how basically the kids is okay with everything, but then Melody had to say no. Martell Jr., he's acting out. He don't want to be around. You know what I'm saying? He's doing this, he's doing that, he's hurt, all of that stuff. And it's like sometimes you turn a blind eye to stuff because all you see is your own hurt and not how it's affecting everybody else around you. And that's how I feel. These kids let you know, I'm telling you, these kids are smarter than you think they are, and they keep and they hold on to stuff. They put that's why we have childhood trauma as adults, okay? Because you think we don't see the stuff, but then we really do. And it comes out in different ways. They're sitting down there asking questions about how you feel about us being apart. The kids want them to be together, and it's unfortunate that this is one thing that we can't do. Okay, we can't give you this because the situation will be better for us to be apart than to be together, because that's not going to be beneficial to y'all. I know y'all used to seeing us together and would like that, but unfortunately that's not going to work. Martell Jr., when he said that stuff about I wish I could be together so I won't have to cry so much, oh my god, that hit me. I was just like, wow. That when I hear kids talking about their real feelings about certain stuff, it just hits me real hard, because it's the kids. And not too many people listen to the kids, okay? And like I said, they don't realize how much this is affecting them, all this drama. And it makes me sick knowing that sometimes if you go back, when the kids get older, they can go back and look at this stuff, or they can go on social media right now and look at this stuff and see y'all acting an ass, and just it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The kids wanting them to be together. They do like the fact that the mom is a little bit happier by herself though, but they still want that family unit. They don't want stepdaddies and stepmamas. Okay. It's understandable, because when I was younger, I was that way too. But then I got to a certain age and I was like, Mama, you up here doing certain stuff. You could give me a stepdaddy so we can help pay with these bills and stuff. Girl, I was a mess back then, okay? But I was like, Mom, you could have been used your goods, and because they love. Anyway, I'm not gonna pimp my mama out like that. Now, but moving on, they was like, listen, no, we don't want none of that. We don't want none of that. We don't need none of that. Okay. And then they asked the question, do you have something that you want to ask or whatever? And I think the little girl was like, either the Martell Jr. or the other little girl, the oldest daughter, she was like, they was like, do you got a crush or whatever? Or was it the youngest one? The second to the youngest one, because that little girl put Martell on blast. Okay, Martell was like, no, I ain't got no crush. No, Martell said, yeah, I got crush. It's on y'all my crush. And then the little girl was like, what about the lady that we saw you going up into the elevator with at the hotel? And he was like, excuse me, what are you talking about? Yeah, I was with Mama and we saw her. Okay, but we ain't gonna say nothing else, because Mama, we gonna be quiet or whatever. Okay, it's just between me and you. I said, ooh. Now Martell gave his feelings in the confessional, like, the kids shouldn't be involved in this, and you shouldn't be telling the kids this and all that. You shouldn't be doing the stuff, okay? Truth be told, that's what it is. Yes, the kids shouldn't be involved, but the kids gonna be involved. At the way that y'all going and the rate that y'all going, y'all just putting y'all stuff out there. The kids gonna see this, okay? It reminds me of the Willie, I don't know if y'all know them, Willie from Day 26 and Shonda, the situation that's going on with him and his wife and her putting out there on blast, putting him on blast about just leaving. And, she changing her Instagram caption and gonna say, I only changed it because my kids can see this. Well, you should have thought about that before you put your business out there on social media. Okay. But hey, it is what it is. Then the kids go play and they get to talking about how them two has been doing, individually. And then, it was a cool conversation until Mel brought up the fact, well, yeah, I met with Chris and he told me how, you willing to work with Marceau, somebody that you just became friends with again, on the building of this whole the 47 acres. And we go into well, I didn't know that you wanted to build anything because you haven't built anything. I have built stuff, Martell. Okay, for this past 10 years I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that. And I was like, all right, run your resume down. Okay, Martell says stuff just to make her look bad, but ends up making himself look stupid because Melody does come with the facts or her facts, and she can back that up with dates and all that stuff and whatever. But at the end of the day, like she said, if you did not know, like he said, I didn't know that you would have wanted to do all that because you out here doing your singing career and everything else. She said all you had to do was pick up the phone and ask me. Don't assume. And that's one thing I hate. I hate when a person assumes, okay? But other than that, they get to talking about that. I said, please, y'all had a good time with the kids. It was very nice for the most part. No arguing. Please don't let it get to that point where y'all about to start arguing again. Okay? But they ended it right then and there. I was like, thank you. Moving on from that, we get Tisha. She's going over there to see Marceau. And he starts to tell her about, what's going on with Scott Manor. Remember that they had the Uncle Mike, I think that's his name, being the architect. And he's, conveyed some issues that he has with Uncle Mike. Like, he does good work, but he takes forever to do it. Or, some work be good, some work don't, but it be a time frame that he just can't keep up with. Okay, so he's not satisfied with the rate and the time line of how things are going. Like, stuff should be further along than where they are now. And so he said he was looking at another firm, and if he was to get a new architect, it would cost him $200,000 to do everything over, take down everything that Uncle Mike's crew has done and to start over. Okay, and that's just to start or to take stuff down and not just to complete everything that they need to be done. And so with this being put out there, of course, Uncle Mike's firm, reaches out, and I don't know if they had contracts or whatever. They don't want to break contracts. They try to negotiate and talk about it. And so for, I guess, legal purposes, he said, listen, I'm going to try to give him a second chance because he wants a second chance. And I'm pretty sure that's bringing a lot of stress on him too. They talking about, this charity event called the Destiny Race that they have, which is basically something that you write down your destiny or your goals or whatever, and it's like a 5K that you're running towards. I said that was cute. That was cute to call it that, and that to be the little, standard for it or whatever. And then they're gonna put it underneath the Tisha, the Marceau and Letitia Scott Foundation, so that people can write it off their donations and stuff, write it off on their taxes. I was like, okay, cool. But at the same time, Letitia, she feels some type of way because she put out a text asking people about it, and only Mel and Destiny, I believe, they are the only ones that have responded and confirmed that they will be there. And so she feels some type of way, but she didn't let it blow up that much right in and there. She let it go. She asked Marceau how he doing. He said he feels a bit disconnected, and he's not at his best, explaining how they had so many projects going on, building hotels, building restaurants and other buildings and stuff like that in 2020, and then everything shut down. And now he's back at home and everybody's at home, and their stuff is building up and both of them not saying anything, because Tisha said, listen, I had a hard time too. It was a hard year for me too, okay? It wasn't just you. And that's how Marcel be acting, like it's just him sometimes, okay? And as if his wife don't be going through stuff either, okay? And, she winds up telling him, listen, I went to Dr. Francis, and he was telling me some stuff about how basically, we come to the conclusion, like, my life ain't what it used to be, okay? Like, I'm always defending you, and this is not how I really plan my life out, to be just a wife and a mother. Listen, the way Marceau flipped this and didn't say, oh, well, I kind of can see how you may think that, like, sometimes, our goals or whatever change, and we don't go to the same place that we actually become the people that we actually want to become, we have to adjust, okay? This man sat here and basically said, sometimes when you go to these therapists, it's good to go to a therapist, but sometimes they come out making you seem confused and making the problem bigger than what it is, or a different issue, making you rethink things or thinking other things. And I'm sitting here like, excuse me, because he was like, maybe maybe you were supposed to be a wife, a mother, maybe you supposed to be this, and maybe you were supposed to be that. Maybe I said, excuse me, can you just listen to what she said? And here go Tisha. Yeah, you right, maybe. No, that's not what she wanted at the beginning, okay? That is what she's saying, and that is what the therapist helped her to realize, okay? That she did have other goals before she got settled down into being just a wife and a mother. And how, she even brought this up to the therapist, how he don't let her do anything. At one point, he wouldn't let her do anything. And that became her identity, and that wasn't the identity that she wanted. Okay, and Marceau, flipped that shit on the head and had this girl thinking that the therapist was the one filling her head up with stuff. I said, are you serious? That motherfucker is a manipulator, if anything. And like you said, his thing is, Dr. Francis even asked her, has he ever experienced loss? That's probably what his thing is. He feels as though if you become too independent, he's going to lose you. He ain't got no control over you. And I said that before. That's why he don't want her to do a lot of stuff, and he didn't want her to work, and he wanted her to stay in the house, because he can control that situation. If she starts to think and doing stuff for herself, it's out of his control, okay? And that's what he don't like. I said, Marceau, you need some help. You really do need some help. Meanwhile, it's Tiffany and Louis' 1-year wedding anniversary, and so they're gonna celebrate on the baseball field, where I think that's where she surprised him at, right, for the actual marriage, okay? And so, surprisingly and thankfully, them two did not get on my nerves. They had family and friends there, plus the crew, the cast members. They had them there. Destiny showed up late, but Destiny did show up. So that was cool. They was playing on the baseball field. They had a good time. And so everybody comes in there. At this point, Letitia and Scott, Marceau, they're not there because they're still doing stuff for the Destiny race, okay? They got to figure that stuff out, and then they'll be on their way over here. So while they're sitting down and they're talking, you got Martell, Melody, Destiny, Louis, and Tiffany, okay? And so next thing you know, and Kimmy as well too. So they was asking about where Tisha and them at, and Destiny was up there joking about the fact, oh, they named the Destiny race after me, okay? They can't get their minds off of me or whatever, just being light humor and everything. And then, all of a sudden, Mel brings up the fact that Martell might be over there in his feelings or whatever, because, y'all celebrating y'all anniversary, and he probably in his feelings because, on this date or whatever, we would have been celebrating our 13th anniversary. And he said, whoa, you for real? I forgot about that. Mel was like, anyway, he probably up in his feelings because, we would have had that, and we not having that no more. I said, oh, man, Mel, see, this is the thing I be having with Mel sometimes, okay? Mel and Martell push each other buttons, all right? She didn't have to bring this up, okay? Why did you bring this up? Why did you even try to go for this man like that? Why did we need to hear that? We are here to celebrate and to have a good time with Louis and Tiffany on the one time that them two are not bothering us and getting on our nerves. And y'all flipped that whole situation and made it a mess. And I feel like it's so disrespectful the way that they get into their feelings and start arguing in front of everybody when it's somebody else's event. You did it with Tisha and Marceau thing, and now you're doing it with Lewis and Tiffany. I feel like that was so freaking disrespectful. Okay, and y'all hollering, going about y'all business. We don't need to know that. We don't need to know about who filed the divorce first or whatever. And he talking about he don't like when people feeling sorry for him or whatever. But he also don't like the fact that people automatically believe what Mel is saying. So because he's saying that, he gonna put out there, well, I let her file for divorce, but to be quite honest, it was me that said I wanted a divorce first. It's just like when Kanye, he said that he let Kim file, even though he was the one that said he wanted the divorce, so he went on ahead and let her file so she could save face. I said, what the hell? No, y'all not about to do this. Why are we going back and forth with this shit? Y'all are divorced. Who cares? Okay. Even Lewis was like, who cares? Why does it matter who filed first? I mean, it don't matter, but I'm just saying, let it go. Like, I'm sitting here like, it just don't. I don't get it, okay? Mel talked about something. There's been many times that I wanted to file for divorce and I said this and all this. And, there's times that I said I was going to file, then you said that you was going to file or whatever. Sometimes we say stuff when we angry, but most time we actually feel that way or whatever. And I'm just like, what is going on? You're saying this stuff to save face or whatever. Mel saying this to save face. And next thing you know, you bring up the cheating rumors. And I'm sitting here like, why are we bringing up cheating rumors again? Okay? You have not proven that Mel has cheated. We've known that you cheated for most of this time, and I'm so tired of talking about whether or not this lady has cheated. And at this point, we don't care if she does. It does not outweigh what you did. It would be absolutely wrong if it happened, but it does not outweigh what you did. You brought a whole baby into the situation. And then Lewis even had to say, he was like, because Martell bring up her putting stuff on social media and all this stuff, and Lewis is like, why do you care? Okay, us as men, we need to learn how not to basically, talk back, or what would he say? He said men shouldn't have to respond to everything and post anything on social media like that. Okay. Women, they gonna do whatever it is that they want to, but you as a man, you don't gotta do nothing like that. And for once, I actually agree with what Martell said a little bit when he was like, no, that's a double standard. Okay. We can't just let the women post or whatever, and they should be able to respond back to any and everything. No, truth be told, everybody, man or woman, you shouldn't have to respond back to any and everything, okay? You don't have to say any and everything. You don't have to respond back all the time. You can be the bigger person and just let that shit roll off your back and move on. Let that person be in their feelings and look a fool, and you just keep going. Don't play into it. It ain't got nothing to be with about being a man or a woman. Nobody should have to do that, okay? And he was like, it was a double standard in that situation. I was like, yeah, I kind of agree with that. I agree with that. I said I can't believe that I'm agreeing, but I agree with that. But they both so petty because both of y'all be doing that shit on social media. And then, like I said, they bring up the cheating stuff, and Destiny get involved, and she was like, tell him to stop living in the past. Stop living in the past. No, you talking. You said what you had to say. I'm gonna say what I had to say. She ain't put nothing up on social media in a long time. So what are you talking about? Okay, ain't nobody talking about your fifth child. And I'm sitting here like, Destiny, why are you getting involved? Like, truth be told, you Destiny be going hard for goddamn Mel, and Mel don't even be doing the same for her, and I just don't understand it, okay? Like, in this situation, Destiny, like, you should have just shut up and let them go at each other's throat. Meanwhile, Tiffany just sitting there like, I thought we were supposed to be here to celebrate love. What is going on? I actually felt bad for Tiffany, because y'all doing this mess. Like, she was sitting there looking confused as shit. At this point, Louis had to get up and take Maurice and Martell out, and was telling them like, you can't be just y'all can't keep doing this. And it was like, I don't understand why we talking about this, and we be triggers and all this stuff, and the ladies in there talking about triggers and everything. And I was like, I'm tired of it. Okay, let it go. You and Martell and Mel don't need to be in the same room right about now. That's it. Quit inviting them, or basically, you can invite them. Y'all quit accepting, okay? Invite them to say that you invited them and you're not choosing side, but y'all should be like, if this person is going to be there, maybe I shouldn't be there at this event. I'm going to let them go to this event and then I go to the next event. Do it like that. Alternate the shit, okay? Because having them both there at the same time is always something that's going to pop off, and it is draining, okay? And we're tired of it. At least I am. Meanwhile, not Kimmy, but Tisha and Marcel come in. Marcel said, listen, I see the faces on these women, and that gave me my cue right then and they say, hey, and let me go out here to where the men's is at. And he went out there and he said, Martell, was you up in there, Martelling? Yep. Okay, he already knew. But, when Tisha get in there, the subject changes, and she was like, "Yeah, I was fixing up and getting ready for the Destiny race," and she said she felt some type of way about the fact that Kimmy didn't respond back. She was like, Kimmy nor Tiffany, y'all didn't respond back to the text that I gave y'all because it was only Mel and Destiny that responded back. And I don't know what Tiffany said her issue was, but we focused on Kimmy because Kimmy the one that made it the issue. Now y'all tell me how y'all felt in this situation, because honestly, at the beginning, I was more so on Tisha's side because I wasn't really getting where Kimmy was coming from and why it became an issue. I mean, she said I could show you a screenshot of me actually volunteering, signing up on the website to volunteer for the whole thing. So, but I didn't feel like it was right that I was included up into that text. Like, if you wanted to ask me something, you should just ask me. I don't feel like I should have been included in that group text or whatever. And I'm sitting here like, what, Kimmy? You doing a lot. Like, that don't even make goddamn sense. Why you feel special enough that you can't be in a text message that's confirming literally to everybody, are you coming or not? Okay. And Tisha had to clear it up and say, no, it wasn't a text message trying to say that whether or not you were going to volunteer or you was going to actually, participate in the race. It was, about sponsorship because everybody has businesses or whatever. And Kimmy said, regardless, I still feel like I didn't need to be up in there because I need to be treated different. I'm sitting here like, excuse me, Kimmy excuse was when she was in a confessional, she basically said that she didn't like the fact that you're putting her in a group text that's asking, hitting up her and Maurice for money, a check for sponsorship or whatever the freak it is. And I'm sitting here like, I can see if she only asked you in a group text about it, but I'm pretty sure if that's what it was, she put that out there to everybody. And given that y'all friends or whatever, I wouldn't have felt no type of way. And if I did, I would have called her, okay? And like everybody said, why didn't you call her if you felt like there was an issue, okay? Tisha, she was like, well, Tisha, why didn't you call me or whatever? You could have called me and asked me about this and all that stuff. And it was like, well, Kimmy, if you felt like it was an issue that she put you up in this group text, why didn't you call her? Here's Kimmy's response, because I'm not a big caller. I said, what? That don't even make sense. Like, y'all being mad at each other for what? And everybody thinking like I thought everything was cool and y'all dropped the issue that y'all had when y'all was in Vegas. Obviously it's not. And, and so, of course, because now Kimmy is acting like she got an issue, Tisha finna bring up the fact that, oh, you don't call me, you don't do this, and you don't do that to me, whatever. Now it's the same issue all over again. You're not there for me the way that you're there for everybody else. And I'm like, here we go again, okay? And like Kimmy said, it's only a problem now, what you're saying, because it's a problem. You're making it a problem again. And I'm just sitting here like, this is stupid. Okay. Oh, well, you didn't invite me to this or whatever. And you didn't invite me to your planning group, the events that you was planning. Kimmy was like, what was I planning? What event was I planning? Oh, well, if you don't know, I ain't gonna say it. And then Destiny and Mel was like, what's she talking about? I'm talking to Kimmy, okay? And then Tiffany asked the same thing. I'm talking to Kimmy, okay? That's who I'm talking to. So, and I'm sitting here like, hold up, Tisha. Now, in the beginning, I understood trying to understand because I was trying to understand where Kimmy was coming from. But like Tiffany said, you put all this out into the group. So now you want us to be quiet because you talking to her, bitch. Take that bitch to the side if you just want us to be quiet, okay? Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that, okay? I just didn't like that. And now y'all bringing back old issues. And I said, what are we doing? We're grasping for straws for a storyline or just a reason just to be mad? It just didn't make sense. And I'm sitting here like, why bring it up if y'all don't want, like Tiffany said, why bring it up in front of the whole group if you don't want nobody to say nothing? That's basically what was going on in this episode. And I just said, this is ridiculous. Now Tisha and Kimmy finna be back at each other's throat for what? Okay, this is stupid. This is really, really stupid. And even as I'm trying to explain, I'm trying to wrap my hand around it like, Both of y'all dumb in this situation, okay? I just feel that way. But I just can't wait till next week. When Tisha tried to touch Vanessa, Vanessa said, and Tisha was like this. Oh, Lord. The mama's about to be on here being messy. But anyway, that was Love and Marriage Huntsville. I hope y'all was able to follow along. And I will see you guys later, all right? Peace.